me.
Let's see. Oh, she found it.
I had to go live.
Okay, just go live.
Okay.
All right, she would grab her phone.
Got it.
We're live.
We got some technical difficulties, but that's okay. Did you want to call? So anyway, let's talk about the Ahmaud Arbery matter.
Yeah, we got to
Now,
call Farrah.
okay. Yeah, we're on.
Okay. Hear your music, girl. You going live. As soon as I punch you into the board, okay?
Okay. Yeah, that's all right. Hey, we're live with the Vonda's Unfiltered. Hey, I'm Vonda Evans.
And I'm Jason Flowers.
Cut that. Okay, very good. We got a little technical difficulty. Comcast, as usual, messed up. The internet's not working, so I'm trying to do it from my phone. And I don't know how successful that I'm going to be, but I'm going to attempt to do it anyway. So, today, I want to talk about Ahmaud Arbery. Jason, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, okay. Now, here's a situation that occurred in Brunswick, Georgia. Now, according to the news media, Gregory McMichaels is a former police officer, and his son Travis were arrested in the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery back on February 23rd, 2020. They ultimately were charged with murder and aggravated assault. However, there was a significant delay, and the media says that that was due to the circulation of a video showing the dumb duo that I'm going to call them, and this poor man and them shooting him down. But now let me say, Governor Kemp, who is a Republican, who I didn't get to fact check, is probably up for re-election. I can tell you it's absolutely horrific. Now, two DAs recuse themselves, and that means when you recuse yourself, that means that you have a reason why you can't be fair and impartial. And the fact of the matter is, we know that Gregory McMichael was a longtime employee of the police department. But now let me say this. The prior defense attorney, George Barnhill of Georgia Waycross Judicial Circuit Court, and this thing is different. I don't know why all these different counties are involved, but he sent a letter to the Glenn County Police Chief. And what he said was the following. Arbery appeared to be unarmed. The dumb duo were trying to hold him until the police came. There was a fight that was started by Ahmaud with Travis. Travis was armed with a gun. There was a fight over the gun. Arbery attempted to disarm him. He grabbed the shotgun, and that at that point in time, Gregory shot and killed him. He believed, George Barnhill, that McMichaels was legally carrying a weapon under Georgia law, that he was effectuating a citizen's arrest, and that he acted in lawful self-defense, in his opinion. Now, in Georgia, and I pulled this statute, a person may arrest an offender if the offense is committed in his presence or within his immediate knowledge. Okay? If the offense is a felony and the offender is escaping or attempting to escape, a private person may arrest him upon reasonable and probable suspicion. Also, self-defense. You can use force, even deadly force, if you reasonably believe that the force is necessary to protect you or someone else. The scope of the force that you can use depends on what type of force that you believe and looking at the reasonableness of the circumstance. A person is justified in using deadly force when it reasonably looks to him or a third person that a person is entitled or likely to cause death, great bodily harm to that third person. He must have a reasonable belief that force was necessary to prevent death. And here's the thing, the caveat. Because self-defense looks at the person's intent and the circumstances, even if that person, if it turned out that he was wrong about how much danger that person is, he still can use self-defense. The argument will be when we attempted to hold him for the police because allegedly that's what his statement was. The fight ensued between Travis and Mr. Arbery, at which time Mr. Arbery was getting the best of Travis. He then grabbed the gun. Now, this is according to the father, who we know is a police, who, if it's from February to now, I know he done talked to a lawyer. I know that. And he's still police. He said at that point is when he fired because he saw Mr. Arbery grab the gun from Travis.
No.
Now,
That's not.
If that's now, what I'm saying to you is, this is what I'm saying. What we have on the video is him shooting him and falling down, and the fight. The issue for self-defense is one for the jury. And the jury has to determine, after listening to what he has to say, whether or not he had a reasonable belief that his son, once he tried to grab the gun and disarm him, he could have used it against his son or him, and he had the right to defend him. What's your position?
Okay, well, first of all, the video shows that is your computer on mute?
Is my what?
Oh, you have me on speaker on your phone? But you need to put your computer on mute. Thank you. The video shows that the Mr. Arbery, that the father shot the gun before he grabbed the gun. He was shooting the gun several times before Mr. Arbery got the gun. So that argument or defense as self-defense, I don't see how that can come into play. And also too, they went back home to get guns to chase him down. Now, I know there's a law in Michigan, right, that says that if there was a case that you had some time ago, and the female went back into the house to grab a gun, and that wasn't a defense she could use because she went back into the house to grab the gun. Now, I don't know what the laws is in Georgia, but I feel like because they went back to grab a gun, I don't see how you can use self-defense. Correct. So before, like you said, and they're going to use the self-defense because he grabbed the gun, which in the video, Mr. Arbery, the father, shot the gun several times before Mr. Arbery even grabbed the gun. So I don't see how that could be used as a defense. But also too, I remember a case like you had with the it was a domestic violence case where the female went back into her house to grab a gun, but she could not use self-defense because she went back into the house, retreated, and came back out with the gun. So self-defense she wasn't able to use that defense. I don't know, can't that be, I don't see how self-defense could be used in this case when they went back to the house when they were following him to grab a gun. Well, I think that they in the video they were ahead of him. They were ahead of him before he even got to them. The people on Facebook can't hear you. So you have to unmute your computer, but you need to have like a headphone in so it won't give feedback. Okay. Well, so here's the thing. Georgia Attorney General Chris Carr said he'll be looking into and this is from a Washington Post article. He said, I'll be looking into how Ahmaud Arbery case was handled from the outset. He said the family, the community, and the state of Georgia deserves answers. We need to know exactly what happened. And we'll be looking tirelessly with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, the Brunswick community, and others to find those answers. Even Glenn County Commissioner Peter Murphy said he also plans to call for investigation into the prosecutors and police agencies that investigated Arbery's shooting over the past 2 months. So Murphy also said police. But that's you beginning. People on Facebook, can you hear her? Just make a comment if you can hear her. So Farrah asked if what's your question, Farrah, again? How is this considered a citizen's arrest? Uh-oh, she's having technical difficulties. Well, I'm not too familiar with the law in Georgia, but it's still, and I don't even know the laws here, even in Michigan, because I'm not a lawyer. But that is a good question. How can be a citizen's arrest? How is this a citizen's arrest? Mm-hmm. Mm. Right. 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 As it was the first time. Mm-hmm. My question is, can there be at this point, can there be a change of venue um for this particular case? Can they take this case from Georgia to maybe a different county or maybe to a different state? Is that even possible? Okay. Mhm. 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 We can hear you. I think we should go to commercial break. Farrah, let's go to commercial break and we'll come back and we'll get back with. I can hear you. Vonda, can you hear me? Can you hear me at all? We'll be right back, you guys. Hang on there with this. I can't hear you. We'll be right back. We're live on the radio. I can.